So why is it that only 10% of organizations in the US have actually done computer power management? There's two good reasons. One is, until very recently, it required a third-party tool to manage the sleep settings of all of your computers on a network. Now, conceivably, you could have somebody walk around, right, to everybody's computer in your organization and change those settings in the control panel. That's just really impractical for most IT organizations. They don't have the resources to do that. You know, if you got 200 computers in your organization, figure 10 minutes or even 3 minutes a computer, that's more of an investment in time than you need to be able to make. This is the bigger challenge. At present, our computers are programmed or maintained, and they get periodic Windows security updates. They get antivirus definitions. They're backed up. It's really important that you think about that stuff before you have your computers entering sleep mode, because if a computer's asleep, it's not going to get any of these updates or antivirus definitions. It has to be awakened for that to happen, or it has to be awake. So that's the bad news. The good news is there are all sorts of solutions out there that get you past both of these problems. The other bit of good news is there are a lot of vended solutions, commercial software packages. 1E is represented here. There's a whole host of them. You might have heard of Verdium or BigFix, just to name a few of the big ones. Phoronix is another one. They cost money. They don't cost much money. The payback for these programs that help you power manage computers is really, really good. The good news is, even if you can't afford those inexpensive solutions, there are free solutions out there, and a lot of them involve tools that you probably already have at your disposal. Wait a minute. Why don't we just tell people to turn off their computers? Do we really need a government program to tell us to turn off our computers? And you know, there's some point to that maybe. Here's the thing though. We've looked at this, and what we know is that in fact, people aren't really good about turning off their computers. In addition, there's very little difference between a computer being off and a computer being in sleep mode in terms of energy consumption. There's a couple of watts of difference, which over the course of a year is going to, it's less than 10 cents in most cases. We also know that people, even in the environments where they're ordered to turn their computers off every night, you only see 70 to 90% compliance. These features automatically put the computer into a low power sleep mode. So as a result, you're going to get a lot more savings if you use the automatic settings than if you rely on people to turn off their computers. There's one other reason. If people turn off their computers at night, it makes it a little more difficult in some environments for the IT administrator to manage that computer. So a lot of times they won't want you to turn them off at all. We see enormous savings opportunities in a lot of organizations where the policy is, hey, leave your PC on all the time. That way we can access it for patching. This is the IT administrator speaking. We can access it for patching at night if we need to. Really, they don't need to do that. If the computer automatically goes into sleep mode, they'll be saving a ton of energy, and they can still maintain it. So quick case study, West Hartford Public Schools. Like I mentioned, this is a case where they weren't using power management, and they did not turn off their PCs at night. They used a free software solution that's available for download at the Energy Star website. It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles like some of the vended solutions that are represented here today, but it gets the job done. The savings they saw, we calculated about $64 per PC annually, pretty typical. GlaxoSmithKline, a bit larger organization, just to illustrate the range of opportunity out there. Mostly Windows XP PCs. They're mostly notebooks, so the thing about notebooks is they don't use as much energy to begin with, so you're going to get less savings, but still worth doing. They used a free solution as well. They used a login script. We've got instructions for how to do this on the Energy Star website for your IT administrators. Long story short, they're looking at about $1 million of energy savings from computer power management alone.